It is no secret that we love to eat around here, and when I say we, I primarily mean me. We always have a lot of fun when special guests come and cook for us.
Yes, we do. We're going to head to the CI Living Vault of July 2013 when our own film critic and friend Chuck Kaplinski visited with one of his favorite recipes. Take a look. All right, so we are mixing things up here in the CI kitchen for our dinner and a movie today.
Yeah, you see film critic Chuck Kaplinski putting on the chef's hat today. Don't be confused that he's here in front of all these pots and pans. I didn't know you could cook, Chuck.
You didn't? You know what? That seems to be the response I've been getting all day. And quite frankly, I'm starting to be insulted by it.
No. This is going to be wonderful. It smells great. It looks like it's going to be a great, easy meal.
You're going to be eating your words. But
and we promise we will not give it a star rating, a thumb rating,
or
any
can do
of
whatever
any
you
kind.
want. Here, just let me tell you something. You know, I made this. This was the first meal I made for my wife. And she'll tell you that that was one of the 2 reasons that she married me.
What was the other? Do we want to know?
I agreed to clean the bathrooms.
Wow.
That's a good deal right there.
It was a good deal.
Wow, yeah,
well, it's a mutual thing. You know, I married her because she always has stamps and a pen. So it works out pretty well.
You said chivalry and romance.
Okay, so we're starting with, I guess, heating up some oil.
Yeah. Now, the recipe that's going to be posted, I doubled it here. So we put a couple tablespoons of oil in. We're starting with some shredded pork. And this is really easy to do. You get like some pork tenderloin or some pork shoulder. You chop it up into 1-inch cubes and you boil it for about 40 minutes. Take a couple forks.
Shred it up.
And that's all you do. So yeah, but before we do get that, we need to cook up a couple other things. We're going to throw in an onion. Here into the oil, and we're going to throw in some spices. We've got some cinnamon, and we've got some cloves.
That looks like a lot of cinnamon.
A lot of cinnamon.
So is this going to be sweet?
Yes, you can never have enough cinnamon.
Well, the onion, I feel like, would add some sweetness to it, too.
Yeah, depending on the onion that you use. But yeah, it's a contrast of flavors, which is why I like this dish so much, because you wouldn't expect, oh, cinnamon in a main dish. That seems a little odd. But it really goes well with the pork flavor that's going to be added when we throw in the meat. Now, also, we're going to throw in a little bit of garlic as well. It's going to turn out okay. You pass that pork over?
The pork, yeah.
Yes, yes. So, and again, I've doubled the recipe that's on. This is about 2.5 pounds of pork here. So that's plenty. This is a meal that when I make at home, everyone stays at home. There are no requests for bowls of cereal. There are no requests for macaroni and cheese.
A hot dog. I think my son has had a hot dog every day this week.
Oh, don't you love that?
I feel horrible about it.
Or when they're trying to be polite, they take a couple bites and they say, I'm done. Yeah.
No, Julie just says, I'm not hungry.
I'm not hungry.
You're just not hungry for this. I know how you are.
Well, she would be if she ate this, because even I can smell it. It smells great. And why pork? I mean, could you substitute other things?
You could. There's another version of this that you can use where you use beef. You get like a rump roast or a beef roast. You cut that and you prepare it the same way, but you boil it in dark beer, not just water, and that gives it an entirely other flavor as well. So yeah, there are lots of different variations, you know, and that's what I do a lot of. I mean, I find certain recipes I like, I make them a couple of times, and then you start to tinker with them, you know, to your own taste, to experiment a little bit, and you know, and that's how I go about doing things, because I get bored pretty quickly.
Yeah. So did you create this recipe on your own, or
no? Like I say, I found it and then I started messing with it a little bit. I really like sweet things, but nothing overpowering, which is why I really go hyper on the cinnamon.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so you're just cooking it up, and how long do you keep it?
You just kind of keep it going for about 5 or 6 minutes until it says until all the spices are absorbed. We still got a little bit of onion, a little bit of stuff, so we just keep stirring it until those spices have blended in thoroughly with the meat.
And I know that we put the other things in fairly quickly, but would you wait longer to let the onions caramelize a little bit more? Or
you can if you want. I like them to be a little bit crisp. I don't like, you know, that really texture of that onion. But you can cook it to your own specifications, but I like them to be a little bit more crisp as we're going through.
Now we're saving the refried beans for later, or does that go in too?
No, that's going to be for later when we plate it, when we pull it all together.
Okay, we're going to do that here in a little bit, so stick around.
You bet.
We'll let you still stir and combine.
Thanks, Heather.
Film critic Chuck Kaplinski, who you may see normally reviewing films, is reviewing food for us. And
so well, you'll be reviewing.
We'll see if
it's worth it.
Well, and that's That's why Joe's here.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
okay.
he
I
needs
have
an
a great
authority.
palate. Yes.
What I've heard.
Remind us what we've made for dinner tonight.
We've made cinnamon carnitas. We've already prepared the pork. And then while we were waiting, I fried some tortillas. You just put some oil in the pan and fry them up. Usually takes maybe about 45 seconds to a minute once the oil gets warm. Then we're going to put some refried beans on here. Always a good base for something like this. Then
I'm with you.
Over.
So what exactly is a carnita?
A carnita. Carnita actually means cubed meat, okay? And of course, that's a bit of a misnomer because you end up shredding the meat. But it begins in a cube form when you're boiling it. So, you know, that's what the word means.
Okay.
I had to look that up.
I'll trade places with you here.
You know, and then you just kind of, you know, whatever you want to put on it. Usually what you would put on a taco or whatever you would put on top of this. Some lettuce is always good, of course. And if I had it, I need the tongs.
So far, so good.
Or just use your hands. That's how we do it at my house. Well, you're going to finish plating this up,
Yes, I
and we're
will.
going to try it here because you're going to review some movies.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we've got the recipe online right now. We'll be right back with Chuck reviewing Despicable Me 2. So stay right there.
Dose.
I thought for sure you said Despicable Meat, too. That's not what you said.
I wish I remembered if he liked that one. We'll have to ask,
We can
because
ask.
coming up, they're going to review the new movie Dune. But are they done with the flick? Sorry, I didn't write that. I just read
Nor
it.
did I. Also, today's
Yep, and Chuck, we're cringing over there.
today's CI Giving. You could win some tickets to see Illinois play basketball in exhibition form on Saturday night. Stay with us.
ILL.
I and I.